Akin to and largely responsible for the sweeping changes in our industrial military posture has been the technological revolution during recent decades. In this revolution, research has become central. It also becomes more formalized, complex, and costly. A steadily increasing share is conducted for, by, or at the direction of the federal government. Today, the solitary inventor, tinkering in his shop, has been overshadowed by task forces of scientists in laboratories and testing fields. In the same fashion, the free university, historically the fountainhead of free ideas and scientific discovery, has experienced a revolution in the conduct of research. Partly because of the huge costs involved, a government contract becomes virtually a substitute for intellectual curiosity. For every old blackboard, there are now hundreds of new electronic computers. The prospect of domination of the nation's scholars by federal employment, project allocations, and the power of money is ever present and is gravely to be regarded. Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite. It is the task of statesmanship to mold, to balance, and to integrate these and other forces, new and old, within the principles of our democratic system, ever aiming toward the supreme goals of our free society.
This problem has reached a new stage in its development. A scientific consensus has emerged, and now the debate is over how long before the first effects will actually be felt. As a result, it is moving from the scientific realm into the political realm. How are the policymakers going to react to this challenge?
All of you would not be here unless you, like me, were convinced that this danger is real. This is not fiction. It is science.
There is a 75% chance that the entire North Polar ice cap during some of the summer months could be completely ice-free within the next 5 to 7 years.
Were we to ignore the warnings of the scientists around the world and look the other way as the entire North Polar ice cap melts before our eyes and the consequences we've been warned about unfolded, our children might then well ask, what were they thinking? Why didn't they act? Why didn't they choose change when they had a chance?
And as the climate change conference opened in Copenhagen, the Obama administration announced a major shift in policy here at home. The Environmental Protection Agency today declaring greenhouse gas emissions do pose a threat to public health. Now, that move is important because it allows the EPA to impose regulations without congressional approval.
As you know, Congress has really been out of the game so far. A climate deal is stalled on Capitol Hill. The EPA's action today basically says, look, if Congress doesn't move forward on a law, the EPA, the Obama administration, can act alone and impose some new regulations.
Look, it's blackmail, a way of saying to Congress, either you do cap and trade or we're going to do cap, no trade. We're going to regulate every aspect of American life. This is, if the EPA now has in its power, and perhaps it will enact it over time, to intrude into every aspect of American life. I mean, essentially what it can do is to regulate emissions from any institution, any enterprise, any apartment block that emits more than 250 tons of CO2 in a year, which is a very low level. It says it's going to raise that much higher, but it doesn't have the authority to actually raise it. So it can regulate every aspect of American life. It really is what Václav Klaus, the president of the Czech Republic, said. This is environmentalism is a new socialism, as a way for the feds, for the best and the brightest in the federal government to regulate all aspects of life. It used to be in the name of socialism, which was social equality. Now it's in the name of the planet.
If you look at the peer-reviewed scientific literature The debate is over.
Yet in holding scientific research and discovery in respect, as we should, we must also be alert to the equal and opposite danger that public policy could itself become the captive of a scientific, technological elite.
But I'll make you one promise here. You ain't seen nothing yet.